How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up? What up?
Hey, buenas noches, my friend. That means good night.
It's so late.
I know, special the night edition of Story of the Fight. Welcome, everybody. My name is Ramiro. That's my boy, Will. And this is Story of the Fight, where we talk all things mixed martial arts. And we usually go on Sunday mornings, Will.
Normally we do Sunday mornings.
But we knew we had to get together to talk about tonight's card. Also, your boy here has been knees deep in baseball tournaments. Not my own,
Yeah.
but my son's. So your boy's got baseball tomorrow morning, man. It's been rough.
It's been rough, but we've been making it happen. You know,
Yes.
We're back. We're doing it now. We're doing it late. We're doing it right off. 295 ended. You know, it just happened.
What better time, really, if you think about it, right? Everybody's still
Yeah.
hyped about the fights. Why not? Why not?
Yeah,
But
let's do
hey,
it.
everybody, we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. So
Yeah, we're
please
close.
like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. You can find us on Apple Podcasts and anywhere else podcasts are found. And if you're wondering where might those locations be, Will?
Yeah, go to storyofthefight.com. It'll list all of our handles: Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch,
Merch.
Threads.
Find merch there.
Yeah, you'll get our store. If you want to support Story of the Fight podcast, can't show you the back of it. Andrew Tosi.
There we go. Andrew Tosi.
Sick. Yeah, fighting next weekend for his pro debut. But there's more than just that on there. But yeah.
Awesome. Well, hey, with that being said, let's get right into it. We had a big event tonight, UFC 295, man. Prochazka versus Pereira. Man, I have been looking forward to this fight. And I know that tonight was supposed to be John Jones versus Stipe.
Mm-hmm.
And then this was supposed to be the co-main event, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
And you know what? Even though this was moved into the main event, we lost that other fight. I'm not mad at it, bro, because we got a couple of absolute warriors going at it. This was.
look at this picture.
You got a samurai versus Boatan straight from the Brazilian Amazon, bro. Come on.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. This is like a Mortal Kombat fight. You know,
is this one of the best face-offs ever?
It probably is. It probably
it's up there. But you got Jiri Prochazka making his comeback after he had his shoulder surgery. He relinquishes the belt. He says, "Hey, I don't want to be holding up the title. I can come back, fight, and get my title back." Respect to him. And then you got Alex Pereira, man, who went into middleweight, takes out Israel Adesanya, loses the title there, and then says, "You know what? Your boy be dropping too much weight." So he steps up, right, to light heavyweight, still coming in looking massive, by the way.
So big.
How is he making 185, dude? I don't understand.
Yeah, that's like the common thread now is how did he do it? Because
I don't know.
He looked way bigger than Yujiri. And we talked about it, Samurai Warrior with Yujiri, Alex Pereira, the tribal
warrior,
the paint, the headdress, all that stuff, so cool. Dude, the walkout was so intense. They both have crazy walkout. They're not just listening to like random songs, you know. It's like tribal music and like gnarly guitar and like drums and stuff for Yujiri. And it's like, and
they're both going to war, dude.
Yeah, they're going to war. You know it's going to deliver. And then they get to the cage and they're just staring each other down. The best mixed martial arts stare down still probably Wanderlei versus Krokop, right? Back in Pride. But dude, for UFC, this stare down was insane, dude. It was so tense.
Was it the movie Troy where Brad Pitt like goes out there, right, and he gets that arrow and he takes down that massive dude with the arrow? But it's like the old days where you have like this civilization, right? And you have this civilization. They're like, "Hey, here's my best, dude. Where's your best? All right, let's have him go at it, and this is gonna decide like which one of our and this is it, dude. Like, do absolute warriors going at it, and then with Alex Pereira, dude, when he does the little arrow thing and he releases and he just fucking screams, dude. I'm like, it's so intense. But then you have Pereira that's in there. Yujiri walks into the octagon, and the way that they don't take their eyes off of each other from the moment that they're both in there were
Yeah, it's
so
terrifying.
intense, man.
Yeah,
So intense.
it was so good, dude, to the point where the commentary crews just cracked. They're just laughing. They're like, "This is crazy." They're just staring at each other, and
Can
you
you
can tell the
imagine being
camera
there,
crew,
dude?
and you could tell the production team's like, get the camera on Yujiri. He's just staring at him. Just get the camera on him. And they're like, hey, but Pereira also just get the camera on him, and they just kept switching back and forth between them as they're doing the
Dude,
announcement. It was
there was this amazing shot, which I wish they had a picture of. But you have Jiri Prochazka, right, and the camera's behind him, and in front of him,
oh,
you
you can
see
see him in
Bruce
the back.
Buffer
Yeah,
that's screaming, and behind him, you just see
he's just
Alex Pereira just stoic, dude,
so
staring him
gnarly.
down. Oh my god, it was amazing. So
And look at
then,
Mark Goddard
and
in
then
this
after
picture.
that,
Yeah, look at
yeah,
Mark
dude,
Goddard
what are
just
you
like,
doing?
I'm here to fuck this whole thing up. Just wait.
But the crazy thing is that after all that we just talked about, they actually fought. And so you
Yeah,
have fight, dude, and Yuji comes in, man. He's looking loose. And the thing that I've always loved about Yuji is that he's so unpredictable, man. Like he's coming in
yeah,
like
he's
different angles
dropping.
from a weird angle, and after he drops, he comes up with like an uppercut. And the thing is
That
that
was such a good
everybody
feint.
knows, yes, yeah, dude, so good. Everybody knows that he is so wild, right? And
Hmm.
so, well, I shouldn't say wild because he's in control, right? Like he's in
Yeah,
control, but his style might seem a little wild compared to a lot of just regular orthodox fighters. And then when he's doing this, like you just don't know what he's gonna throw, so you have to react
yeah.
to everything. So no
Well, not
matter what
just
it is that he
that.
was fainting,
Hmm.
Pereira was
Yeah, but
reacting.
and not just that. Well, real quick, Blunderbub, shout out Blunderbub, hopping in late
Hey,
night.
Blunderbub.
It wasn't enough that Game Bread was terrible, but now you guys got to rub it in with this Game Bread FC. But yeah,
I love
like
it.
specifically because everybody knows Alex Pereira. He hasn't been grappling forever. You know, kickboxing champ, glory champion, came over to MMA. He's shown improvements in his ground game and defensive grappling, but it's still, if you're gonna find a weak spot, that's it.
Me
It
trains
still
with
is.
Glover.
Yeah, but it's getting better, but that's
Yeah.
the path, that's the best path you have. If you can
Yes.
grapple, if you're fighting
Path
him.
of least resistance.
Exactly. So with Yizri coming in and he's dropping like that, he's feinting takedowns, and
Yeah.
Pereira has to react because his skill set isn't quite there yet. He needs to be there quick, which is why the uppercut off that feint of the takedown is so good. That drop step to an uppercut is there because he's reacting to a takedown. But you know what else is there? Those leg kicks.
Oh,
Every
dude,
time
yeah.
Yuzri is ducking and dropping, he's planting on that leg. That's what's happening, right? So he just throws that leg kick so effortlessly, and you can tell it's tearing him up. And it's, dude,
I think it was
the whole
3
side of
kicks
his leg
in,
was,
and you could see
yeah,
Yudri was screwed on that leg.
not stoked, not
Yeah.
happy about it.
Yeah, not at all, dude. Not at
Yeah.
all. But the kick is so quick, and it doesn't look like he's putting very much behind it. Like you see in
Mhm.
Edson Barbosa when he throws that kick, and he just
He
like
turns in.
winds up, dude, and he turns into
Yeah.
it. With him, he's just like whack, just like.
Well,
But it looks like it's heavy. It's
what's so
heavy.
good? So you think about like if you're Alex Pereira, everybody knows the best thing you got is that left hook, right? The lead left hook. He's orthodox, and the way you want to throw that is you almost want. I mean, there's the leaping left hook, but there's also the check left hook, which is you draw them in, you step back with your right leg, step back and turn over with the left hook. So what he can do is he does a really good job. He did this more in Glory, kind of, where he'll throw the rear leg high kick. He'll throw that a lot, even if it's not to land. And as he brings it back down, he uses that as the step back to throw the left hook. So
Mm,
you're thinking about the left high kick, you have to block it because it
yep.
still kicks hard. You have to block it. And then as he's stepping back down, he's throwing that left hook. It's such a good two-piece combo. But then you think about the way he throws this low kick with the same leg as the high kick. And like you said, he doesn't turn into it. It's almost like he kicks up into your shin. And it's the same as bringing his leg up to a high kick. So it's like, is he throwing a high kick? Is he throwing a low kick? And when he throws the low kick, he steps back. It's the same thing to cork that left hand, that left hook. It's such a good game. It's like, it's not one dimensional. It's, people think, oh, the left hook's not get him through the MMA rankings. But dude, it's not just a left hook. The way he sets it up with these low kicks and the high kicks that look the same, so you don't know which one it is. Like it's a really, really good game.
Yeah.
Shout out to Blunderbub. Says also this time slot works great for me if you're thinking about changing it up. It is midnight for Ramiro right now.
Yeah, your boy is sleepy. I'm old. So
Region says late night breakdown and over covering eyes. I'm here for it. I think that's a emoji that doesn't get shown. But, But yeah, so that's kind of like the onset of the fight, right? A
Regen
lot of,
says 1 a.m. for me. Still here though. Love it.
hey, shout out Regen.
I know, dude.
Um,
He's a real one.
yeah, and
Babies must be asleep, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Good time. Good time.
And Yidri, like I said, it wasn't just the faking of the takedown; it's faking of level changes, but it's also off to the side. You don't really want to feint left and right against a left hooker, right? Because you might feint right into that left hook. Um, but he's just doing a good job of being so unpredictable. His rhythm is so unorthodox. Um, it's a fun matchup. It's such a fun matchup, and it was great because the leg kicks were there for Alex, and he was chewing them up. And then just when it started seeming like, hey, you just got to do something here. He can't just keep eating these leg kicks. And he gets in on the single leg, and he gets him up against the fence, and he takes him down, and he pounds him out a little bit. Lands a couple elbows, nothing too crazy, right? But it was good. It was good.
Yes, dude. And now
you're like,
it
great.
just
It's not one-way traffic anymore. We got to fight.
yeah.
You know.
Go
That's
ahead.
what I thought. No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
At that point, because at that point, usually wasn't landing too much, right? But Alex was chewing up that leg, and it looked like it was kind of like it was a downward trend for Yidri at that point. He gets the takedown. He lands some good elbows. Then we're like, great. It's not one-sided. The first round ended. Most of the scorecards said Yidri won it despite his leg getting chewed up. And it was like, all right, what do we got here round two,
But by the way, Pereira coming in the favorite to this. It seems like minus 115. Prochazka plus 100.
Yeah. Long layoff for
So
Yidri.
yeah.
Pereira's been fighting the best of the best in the meantime.
Yes. So once the other thing I thought about with this fight, right? Prochazka has shown he can get caught.
Mhm.
We saw it against Dom Reyes. Those flash
Yeah, the up
knockouts.
kick.
The recovery's crazy. Poatan Pereira
Sabatini too, maybe.
shows that he's also shown he can get caught. Right? We saw it against Izzy.
And here he is getting caught in
And he
this
got
picture.
caught. And so the thing is, he gets caught here, but your boy's still dangerous, man. Like all it takes is one shot from this guy. But Yidri came in like a straight samurai that he is. It was just like, I'm gonna try to put this guy out real quick.
But he did a good job of like stuttering, right? He wasn't just going left, right, like so many people.
And again, because he has that unorthodox style of fighting. Pereira has to react to everything.
Yeah.
So he's like stutter steps in.
He's like,
and like
my left hook now? Can I throw the left hook now?
Dude, it's just so good, man. It was just such a fun chess match.
Yeah, and eventually Yidri backs him up against the fence again with some big right hands, and to the point where Alex looks like he's kind of like, when you have that like gaze where you're almost like you can see them kind of looking past the opponent, and they're like
Deer
they're fighting.
Headlights.
Yeah, not so much deer in headlights. We'll cover that in the Mackenzie Dern fight, but not so much deer in headlights, but almost just like a glaze over it, and you're just kind of like nothing's in focus probably for them, but they're still fighting. Yeah, probably autopilot a little bit.
Okay.
And then Yidri's going in for the kill, but he's not reckless. Like you said, he's herky jerky. He's feinting still. It looks really good. But then Alex hits him with that right hook, and he knocks him into his left hook. And you're like, oh no. And Yidri immediately feet her out. He's on his knees. He goes for a double leg. Alex switches, hits him with some hammer fist, gets the head to the side, hammer fist, goes Travis Brown elbows while Yidri's up against him. Yidri drops to a knee, and you're like, no. Or at least me, I was like, no. And then he almost falls back, and you're like, oh no, here we go. And they fall back, and Alex is in mount, and then Mark Goddard's like, that's it. Oh, here's a left hook. But
beautiful combo, by the way.
Yeah, it was great. And then Mark Goddard's like, he's out. I need to stop this. And then in the scramble of Alex falling forward over him because Mark's stopping it, Yidri spins over, goes to turtle position, and he's like, where is he? And then it's over, and you're like, shucks. A little bit of a downer on that one, I'm not gonna lie. And look, obviously I'm a massive Yidri fanboy. We got the glove. We got the signed glove. Was hoping when I bought it, it was going to be a 2-time champ signature. Still think it's possible. Regen says good stuff from Alex, but early stoppage for me personally. Look, Yidri is a straight up savage. He's a straight up martial artist. They interviewed him after the fight, and he said, looking back on it, I see I see like why it was stopped. I was hurt there, and maybe I was a little bit out there, and everyone's gonna point to that and see like it was a good stoppage. Even Yidri said so.
Yeah.
I think he's very humble, very respectful, not trying to take anything away from Alex.
It's the
I still
samurai
think
way.
it wasn't a great stoppage. There's
Look,
you know
and also, how does Glover get Pereira up on his shoulders? Jeez, dude.
Glover's so strong, dude. You know
He's got that old
anybody who
man strength.
anybody who can make a career towards the end of their career and go to that overhand to takedowns combos where you just shuffle in and you throw that overhand like Glover and Francisco Trinaldo and Alexei Olenek, like those types of guys, you know those dudes are just strong as hell, dude.
Regen says, I just want to go back to the Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard days. One of the best fights.
One of the best fights. The second one
Yeah.
is just
Yeah.
all-time classic.
I
But
just want to go
I
back
mean,
to the Mario Yamasaki days. You know what I mean?
Mario Yamasaki, I mean, we had some earlier in this card with the Mackenzie Dern fight. She got dropped like 3 times, and we're like, let it roll. But in a championship fight against a guy who, I mean, I get it. In the split, when he fell
No,
back,
dude.
it
The
probably
thing is
looked
that we
really
just
bad if you're Goddard. You
the
know?
thing is that we just don't know, and that's the part that sucks because let's be
Yeah,
real here, dude. You have Alex Pereira that fell into mount on top of you when you're
yeah.
dazed already. You know,
Mhm,
and I don't know if you saw, but Yidri's initial reaction was his arms went up, you
mhm.
know, and like
I think he was still
Alex,
playing. I think he was playing
maybe,
off his back a little bit. I think not
maybe,
playing like
or
playing possum. I mean, I think he was playing like
he's like,
jujitsu. Like
he's
it was
like, watch
jujitsu.
me trick this guy right now. I'm gonna eat a couple shots. He's gonna think I'm
Yeah,
out.
yeah, no.
Then I'm gonna make my move.
This wasn't a
No,
Verdum, but
what I'm saying is maybe we just don't know, and
in
that's the
hind
part that
look,
sucks, dude.
hindsight's 2020. When you see it back and you see as soon as Pereira, what Yuji probably thought was happening was Pereira fell forward with the momentum, and he created and thought he created a scramble because you see him spin over to turtle position onto his knees and like try to like follow through with that, but it didn't
But
look
he
like
was also
someone
able to
reaching.
spin into turtle very easily because he was
No,
pulling
no, I'm
Alex
just
off of
saying,
him, and
but
so,
that
but
means
that's what
that
I'm
he's
saying
not
is
unconscious, is what I'm saying.
it's so it's just we just don't know. That's the part
Yeah,
that sucks. We just
yeah.
don't know because I still think that Alex probably finishes him.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm probably biased, but I don't think so. I think Yidri's crafty, man. He's crafty in a scramble like that. I think he, dude. Look, you watch the war with Glover Teixeira. Do you think Alex has a better top game than Glover Teixeira? There's no way, right? So like we've seen him in the past go through dogfights, hit sweeps, hit reversals. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, just
it's
like
a
against Dom
championship
Reyes.
fight.
Yeah,
Exactly. Dominic Reyes against Glover Teixeira. I mean, the Glover Teixeira fight was a back and forth banger where he was gonna lose, but ended up choking him out. You know,
yeah.
it's just it sucks to leave it with like a little bit of a bitter taste. But um, Regent says,
Regent,
I think we
yeah.
got robbed of the greatest main event war of all time.
Exactly. You know what?
That's what
We're
sucks, dude.
talking here about Jiri Prochazka. Really, we're the losers. You know,
Yeah,
we lost out, dude.
we
Now we
lost
don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
Run it back. Run it back.
Well, they'll do Pereira versus Jamal Hill probably, right? I don't know what the timeline is for Jamal Hill, but I'm sure he'll get a title shot immediately when he comes back. Maybe you do this one back. I don't know what the timeline. He tore his Achilles, right?
Dude, just
Jamal
run it
Hill,
back. Yeah.
Achilles, dude. He needs some time.
Playing basketball, wasn't it?
Yeah, in like a pickup game with like a bunch
Yeah,
of other
just
UFC
go.
fighters.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah,
That's awesome. All right.
pretty common injury in basketball, huh? Achilles. I feel like most of the Achilles injuries I hear
Football,
about are basketball.
basketball. Yeah, it
Yeah, I don't
happens.
know.
Yeah.
Happens to
But
the best of them, huh?
yeah, what a main event. Congratulations.
Yeah,
Parabéns, as they say. Parabéns.
it was a great fight
Poatan.
while it lasted.
See?
Fun stuff happening in there.
All right, man.
Two-time champ, two-division champ, Alex
Two
Pereira,
division champ,
two-sport
dude.
champ, kickboxing, UFC. I mean, it's crazy. And he calls out Adesanya. I don't really want to see Adesanya at light heavyweight. I'm not gonna lie.
I think he just doesn't want to end it like that, you know? That
Did he say
that
come to daddy?
rivalry. He did say come to daddy.
God damn. Those two, man. That's dark, dude.
Dude, I can watch this like 10 times. You know, like Adesanya versus
Yeah.
Pereira.
Yeah.
I
No,
I can watch
100%.
it over and over
100%.
again. Yeah.
Blender Rub says, if you want to feel better about it, watch that Game Bread card and watch some refs who I'm not sure were even watching the fight. That Jason Knight, oh my God, dude, versus,
The lip.
was it Randy Costa? That fight could have been stopped like 3 or 4 times. And the refs were just like, Why
We
couldn't
need that
those
ref.
refs be here?
We need that ref for this fight.
Yeah,
All right.
seriously.
Anything else on the main event?
No, I'm very excited to see Jiri back in action, though. I'm so glad he's back. One of the most exciting fighters in the sport. Pereira is now a champ. I cannot wait to see him
Another
go
one of the
through
most
some of these
exciting fighters in the
guys.
sport.
Yeah, it's like there's no boring fights. What happened to light heavyweight? There was a lull there when John Jones made it a wasteland, and then anytime a dominant champ leaves, eventually it kind of like regrows. It's like Chernobyl or something.
But the thing about Alex, he's just the epitome of he's got a puncher's chance.
Always. Always.
Always.
And
And it's
as
there.
time goes on, that grappling's only gonna get better. It's only gonna get better. People needed to
Scary,
capitalize on
dude.
that early, and it might be a little too late. Maybe someone like Ankalaev, gets him out of there, but
Yeah.
why are we gonna do that? We got Jamal Hill. We got a rematch with Yidri. Come on.
Yeah. I like it. All right. We'll go on to the co-main event. Dude, I was excited for this one too. Now, I know that we talked about losing John Jones versus Stipe, but
Mhm.
Will,
It's a better fight.
anybody that's watched the show can say, or anybody that just started watching the show can go back and watch the very first time Aspinall fought. And your
Yeah.
boy here said it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And I said that this is a heavyweight that moves like a middleweight, and he's a serious problem.
Dude, his footwork, his ability to dart in and out and side to side, and that head movement, like a fucking heavyweight Anderson Silva in
I
there,
was like,
just
is that Fury in there? Is that Fury
it's
that I'm
crazy,
watching?
dude. It's
Dude, it was
crazy.
beautiful. Now. He got cracked once. And you even saw the tongue roll across the
Yeah.
mouthpiece, because like, okay, my lip kind of
Well,
hurts now.
let's not forget too. Let's put some, like you said, John Jones versus Stipe was supposed to be the main event. Sergei Pavlovich was the backup. He's training just in case he gets a shot at that because, look, John Jones pulls out of fights late in his career, and Stipe's 100 years old, so the chances of something happening to that were probably pretty great, obviously. And I'm sure Sergei was like hoping for that. He was training for a championship fight. Tom Aspinall, on the other hand, got the call 2.5 weeks ago and did not have a training camp. So he steps in.
Didn't need it.
And that's the backstory of the fight, basically. But like you said, he got cracked early. Pavlovich hit him, and you're like, okay, that's good that he took the shot. He wore it well. He reacted to it, but he wore it well.
Mhm.
He was lighting up those leg kicks. Oh, Tom Aspinall with the leg kicks. And then he throws that 1-2. Goes bop bop. And the
To the chest,
one
by the way.
just goes, I was about to say, just to the chest. Just the
Boom.
rangefinder.
Beautiful.
We just got to find range. Everybody's head hunting all the time. You don't need to connect to the head. Sometimes a punch to the chest, like Matt Serra told Chris Weidman, punched a hole in his fucking chest. Maybe it was Ray Longo. It was one of the two. And then he went out there because you can't hit him in the head. So like
Yeah.
you just have to land on him, and eventually you'll start finding that range, and he'll move into it, or you know how it is. But jab to the chest, right hand over the top, stuns him, and you're like, ooh, and then he goes
Wobbly.
bop bop, hits him again, dude, with some nasty hooks. His hand speed for heavyweight is just incredible, dude.
But it's
Some
not just the
great
hand
pictures
speed.
from this fight.
You mentioned his ability to get in and out, right? So he
Yeah, look at
finds
this
range
picture.
quickly, and he knows that he doesn't have to stay in that danger zone very long because he could step in faster than any other heavyweight, and his
Yeah.
hands are fast enough to beat Sergey's punches to the
Mhm.
punch, I
To the
guess.
punch. He's beating him to the punch. He's
Yeah,
just
he
so
beat him to the
fast.
punch. He is, dude. I don't know about that shoulder tattoo that he has. Like, it just looks like
The
a
all
black
black one?
spot on there. Yeah. I don't know
Mm.
about it, but
Yeah, I like his tattoos.
good hands nonetheless, dude. Drops Pavlovich, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, I stood up off the chair, started screaming.
Did
I
you?
was super. Oh, dude,
You're
yeah.
like, let's
I don't
go.
know. I like Tom Aspinall a lot.
Same.
I've been singing his praises since day one, dude.
Yeah.
We don't see heavyweights like this, and especially in the heavyweight
No.
division, where you see the Tai Tuivasas. You see some of these fighters that are
Derek Lewis,
Derek Lewis,
Roy
Jinx.
Nelson. Shout out
Yes,
Gamebred got robbed. He definitely beat
where
Alan Belcher, even though he's my boy.
they're just big and they're sluggish, but it's fun. It's still fun, right? Because they're
Mhm.
heavyweights, and you know that
And they
at any
crack.
given time, yeah. But then you see this guy come in here, and you see the movement, and you're like, dude, this guy is different.
Dude, that combo where he slipped like 2 or 3 punches from Pavlovich, you don't see that in heavyweight
Ooh.
MMA. Like you said, you see that with Tyson Fury, you see that from heavyweight boxers, but not in MMA, dude. He's slipping punches. Oh my God, he looked like that's the real champ.
He had like a
It's the real
shit-eating
champ.
grin on his face too, dude. As like he stepped
Yeah.
back after he did that,
Mhm.
like, yeah, dude.
It was sick, man.
It was sweet, man. So very happy for Aspinall.
Look how
Sergey
happy he
Pavlovich.
is.
Dude,
I
you know
love this
what?
picture.
By the way, going into this, it was a pick'em fight. Minus
Mhm.
115, minus 115. Vegas said, I have no idea who's gonna win.
Yeah.
You know, they should have called me though. They should have called me. So I'd have been like, Aspinall's your favorite.
Yeah.
Hands down. And
Yeah, I had
bro,
Aspinall by first round knockout actually. The new UFC game has like a it's like the fight week, you can like make your picks. And I was like, I actually, you know what? I gotta double check. I think I had Pereira second round knockout, and I think I had and I know I had Pavlovich
against your
or
boy?
Aspinall. Look, man, I'm realistic. He came off a shoulder surgery, a year off. Pereira's
Yep.
been, it's a fight
Dude,
game.
I should have put some money down because when I was taking a look at this card, right, I thought to myself,
Mhm.
like every once in a while, like I'll see a main card and I think to myself, like, hey, I think I could pick 5 out of 5 here. Like I feel
Mhm.
really confident about these fights, right? And this
Yeah,
was one of them. And if I would have just put down a parlay, I
it's
probably,
just something.
dude, yeah.
It,
We always talk about
it's
that. We
hindsight.
should have gone through and bet. Yeah.
It's
All
hindsight.
right.
Uh,
Um,
Blundrub said, knew nothing about Nelson, but I seen that barrel strapped to his torso and said, "That's my boy." Bro, if you didn't see it, go back and watch old Roy Nelson fights. Some bangers.
Roy
That dude
Nelson
hits
versus
hard
Brendan
as fuck.
Schaub.
One of the best ever. One of
Yeah.
the best, especially in hindsight.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
Some
you
fights
wanna move
age
on to
very
the next
well.
one?
Yeah, let's do it.
All
This
right,
one's
let's
gonna
move
be
on.
tough for you, huh?
Dude, it is, man. You know, Jessica Andrade versus Mackenzie Dern. Mackenzie Dern, my girl, uh, looking to be in fantastic shape, by the way, going into this fight.
Hmm.
Uh,
Definitely.
but I found out
But
that she was no longer gonna have Jason Perillo in her corner. And I
dude,
thought
did
to
you hear
myself,
Dean Thomas?
"Oh, no.
Did you hear Dean
Yes.
Thomas? After the first round,
Yes.
he's like, I don't know who it was that told them to get rid of Jason Perillo, but that guy needs to get fired. It's like
100%."
it's like
Because
what?
we saw Mackenzie Dern, and we've talked about this in the podcast before too. You know who
Mhm.
she reminds me of? She reminds me a lot of Ronda Rousey, where
Dude, I was gonna mix.
such a strong specialist in her
Yep.
craft. In her case, jujitsu, right? In her striking, though, there's such a big gap where she leaves her chin way up in the air. She's throwing wild shots. You know,
This
she doesn't
picture,
have a solid base, solid foundation. Yes, just like that, like stepping forward. And
it's not a good look. You
Against
never want to
Andrade
be
out of all
yeah, it looks
people,
like she's running right now. It doesn't look like she's fighting. Like, look at the way
but
her right hand is back, her right leg is forward, like, not good.
we see this sometimes from jiu-jitsu practitioners, experts that have a hard time in MMA grappling for takedowns, right? With their wrestling.
Yeah.
If they have no chain wrestling, if they struggle in just takedowns in general, she has the hip toss, the head hip toss, which that's
Just
it.
all but everybody in women's MMA has that. It's like
Yes,
it's probably the most effective thing in women's MMA because it's almost like if there's more than 2 women's fights on a card, you're gonna see at least 1 head and arm throw. It's like
it's
the
gonna
most
happen.
commonly used technique.
But
It's
beyond that, she
hilarious.
struggles. So what tends to
Yeah.
do a lot is she tends to blitz in, and when she blitzes in, if she can get a hold of you,
Yeah, and she'll try to
that's
trip you
another
or
form of
something.
her. Yeah, to try to
Mhm.
get you down, right? Um, so it,
Shout out Adam Hurley
hey,
in the
thanks for
chat.
joining us, Adam Hurley. That being said, again, Perillo no longer in the corner. You see the
Mhm.
regression in her striking because I felt like Perillo was cleaning a lot of that up.
Well, you saw her kinda start to fight behind her jab with Perillo and just be a little bit more composed because that's the biggest thing. You could see when someone's not like they don't have the experience in striking is it's like they get sloppy, they overexpose things, and they're not composed. That's like the biggest thing. They break form. Like when you can just stay calm, stay in the pocket, keep your form, that's like the biggest thing. If you're a fighter, if I'm fighting you, the first thing that I'm trying to do is break your form so that I can get something on you, get you off balance. Like that's like the number one thing. That's like the bare minimum. If you strip everything else down, and you could see some of it. Like she was landing some straight punches, like this shot here. She tagged Andrade a couple times when Andrade was just trying
Yeah.
to like move backwards, right? And she was just bam, bam, bam. But then it's like as these things start to get extended, you see this. And then
Yeah.
what this leads to is this. Is someone who doesn't break form. And they can
Ouch.
stay in that fire and they can stay composed. And when you break form, they can land on you.
Hey, how tough
And
is
then you
she
see
though, huh?
this. Yeah. But when we talked about deer in headlights, this is the picture I was thinking of. This is after Andrade dropped her in the second round.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I have to get back
Oh
up.
no.
This is a terrifying picture. And then it doesn't get better
Yeah.
from there. And then when you think about it reminds you of Ronda Rousey, this finishing sequence reminded me of Ronda Rousey versus Amanda Nunes, where you're not even in a stance at this point anymore. If you look at her legs, and it's the mummy guard and it's the pushing away, like, I don't want to get hit anymore. It's the lean back, push away with your arms. And meanwhile, someone's throwing fireballs at you. And they're not reaching and they're not sloppy. They're composed. Look at her squared stance throwing hooks. Like Andrade hits like a truck already. So you cannot just be mummy guarding, leaning away from punches.
Yeah,
And it
and
sucks
she
to
throws some
see.
shots. She misses, and she just tries to come back with a backhand right off that and follow it up with
Yeah,
the
it's just
left. It was super sloppy, and I feel bad because going into this was the battle of the divorce bills, right?
yeah,
And we're like,
100%. It's
okay,
like all
who's
they're
gonna get
talking about.
that?
John
Who's gonna
Adams
get
just
that
licking his
show
chops.
money and that win money? Yeah, and
Yeah, and it turns
Jesus,
out
way
who's
to
getting the
drop that
show money
knowledge.
and the win money is Andrade's ex, not Mackenzie
Hundred
Dern's
percent.
ex.
100%. And then but yeah, this should have been stopped a lot earlier, man. I'm
I
starting to think that Mackenzie Dern probably owes Keith Peterson some money or something.
Nah,
Um,
I thought it was fine. She got dropped, but there were flash knockdowns more so than anything. She was never like unconscious, and you know some people make it a career out of getting dropped. Look at Charles Oliveira, Fabricio Verdum, specifically the jiu-jitsu people. They make a career of getting dropped. Someone goes in for the finish. They're in your guard now, and they sub them. That's how we got Fedor.
do you just compare Dern to Alex or to Oliveira?
No, I'm just saying, like, jiu-jitsu fighters, when they get dropped and it's a flash knockdown and they're not unconscious, they're still dangerous. They're still more dangerous than any other fighter, in my opinion. Just
Yeah, I
because
guess.
you go in there to finish them, and if you get sloppy, they
You
might have
get
dropped to
caught
a
in
brown belt, but
some type of
they
submission.
might
Yeah,
they might catch you. I'm not saying she's as good as Charles Oliveira. I'm just saying, you give it the benefit of the doubt on knockdowns that you drop on your butt and you're still like there.
yeah.
Like, I mean, that's not an unconscious fighter. That's someone praying they don't have to get up, but and they did. But
Yeah, I think it was on the third knockdown, I think is where we probably could have been like, hey, okay, because it didn't seem like she wanted anything
yeah,
to do with it anymore.
no,
And I
and
think Keith Peterson, she was probably looking at Keith Peterson to stop it at that point because she's not
could
going to
be
say like, hey, I'm out.
no, no, no,
So oh
and
well.
but like you made a good point. Jason Perillo probably needs to still be there. And like, hey, I know she was training with Henry Cejudo a little bit. Maybe that was just for cameras because she didn't really shoot at all. She needs to be with people like Cejudo. Maybe come to San Jose and start training at AKA. Maybe like you need to be able to get them to the ground. You're not a
Yeah.
striker. You're not Bangkok ready. It's not going to happen at the top of the division. Perillo will get you refined, but you're still not Bangkok ready. Even with Perillo, you still need to be able to get people to the ground. The hands need
Send
to
her
be a
with Stan.
distraction. Yeah, the hands need to be a distraction. If you catch someone,
Man,
great, but it should be a distraction to get in on a single leg, get in on a double leg. Like
it was just so
they need.
rough, man. It was rough to
Yeah,
watch.
it's tough, but
Yeah.
sometimes it falls. Sometimes it works out. But I'm glad for Andrade because she's had such a cool career. Just such a fun fighter who's had a lot of ups and downs and stringing together some losses lately. But yeah, she's still up there, still cracking.
Shot out of a cannon. Mackenzie Dern becomes a champion ever in her career.
No,
No, right?
no, it's not gonna
Yeah.
happen.
Maybe she
I
goes
like
to
her.
one. Maybe she goes to one and just does the jiu-jitsu matches,
Yeah, maybe
and keeps on
she
getting those
beat everybody.
bonuses
Her
from
jiu-jitsu is
Chachi and
insane.
Pong.
Yeah,
And have that guy yelling at the top of his lungs too.
yeah.
What's his name again?
Frank.
Frank, dude. Our guy Frank. All right. We can move on to the next one. We had the guy that has one of the best names in all mixed martial arts, Benoit Denis, versus one of the best nicknames, Matt Steamroller Frevola.
Or as he likes to say now, Cornrolla Frevola.
That's
That's great,
hilarious,
dude.
dude.
He is
Oh
legitimately
man,
hilarious. Matt Frevola
but
is funny as fuck.
he is pretty
But
funny, dude.
like how you were talking about Tom Aspinall, I've been talking about Benoit Saint-Denis.
You
You know,
have.
he came in and he had that loss, right? And it was a dogfight, but I think it was like short notice up a weight class. And since then he's unbeaten. I think he's at like 5. I can't check because I have I'm doing the slideshows, but I think he's on like a 5-fight finish streak. Is he not?
Well, your boy here can check. Let me see here. We have
He's an
uh,
absolute demon in there,
win
dude.
head kick, then win ground and pound with Thiago Moises. He
It's
beat
2.
Ismael Bonfim, rear
It's
naked
3.
choke. He beats Gabriel Miranda, right hook. And he
4.
beat Nicholas Stoltz, rear naked choke. So
5
5 fight
finishes in
winning
a
streak,
row.
all finishes.
And his only loss in the UFC was his debut up a weight class, I believe, right? I mean, the guy is
Also has 3 canceled bouts in that time. So hey,
yeah,
props to Christos Giagos, Joe Solecki, and from hell Vince Pichel, because those would have been
dodged
tough
a bullet.
fights.
Dodged a
For
bullet.
sure.
After tonight, do you think any of those fights are losses if they went through?
Oh,
Like,
dude.
dude, he is a straight up sap. And Matt Frevola is no slouch, dude. This is a good pickup here for Benoit Saint-Denis. But you
Hey,
know,
shout out HOB Comer, by the way. Late
hanging
night
with the
fights with the
boys.
boys. I love it. How good was that card? He says it was
It
a
was
lot
so
of
good.
fun. It was a lot
So
of fun.
good.
HOB Comer, this will be one of the few times that you hop on and you don't hear Will bashing the card, man.
True, true. I was thoroughly enjoying this whole card.
It was
You
fun.
know, it was
It was a
a
fun card.
legitimately very good card.
But yeah, talk to us then about
Yeah,
Steam
Benoit Saint-Denis.
Cornroller Frivola.
Oh yeah, well Frevola, he hits like a truck, right? And he's got good wrestling, Sarah Longo team. But this was a good test for Benoit, I thought, just because, like we've seen him fight Bonfim, who looked like a world beater, and like, but he stops him with those. He was just body kick, body kick. That left kick that he has is nasty. He goes to the body and the head. And in this fight, he throws it to the body. Frevola got a knee up. He blocked it like Thai style, and you see it with the Thai tattoos on his back. But he brought the knee all the way up to block the body kick, but it still knocked him on his ass. He's
Yeah.
blocked the body kick with his knee, and it dropped him. He goes in for the takedown. Benoit goes for the guillotine, jumps guillotine. Not good. They get on the ground. I think he sweeps him. Benoit sweeps him.
Yep.
Ends up on top in side control. And you're like, dude,
Yep.
this guy is fucking legit, man. That left body kick, if you're a southpaw, oh my God, the left body kick is money. That's the most dangerous weapon because it hits you right on the liver. And then it sets up the high kick because you think this guy body kicks. You watch the Bonfim fight, through like 6 in a row, and Bonfim's just like, oh my God, stop.
Yeah.
And then once he's stopped, he takes him down, chokes him out. But in this one, he drops him with the body kick, like stumbles him, not like a he's compromised, but then you see him also mixing the grappling. And you're like, dude, this guy is the kind
He's
of looking like
complete.
the complete package here.
He's complete.
And his distance management was really good too. I like that. Like if you see this picture, he's nowhere near getting hit by this shot. But here's Frevola shooting on him. And then here he is. Oh, how did he get on top?
Oh, he
He
looks so
sweeps him.
happy.
Yeah. Frevola's a good
Frivola looks so
spirit.
happy in that picture. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And then they go they go at it again, and Frevola gets a good takedown, and Benoit does a good job just hip escaping, getting back up to his feet, and as they disengage, Frevola's circling out, and he just throws that left body kick. Except it wasn't a body kick. He goes up top, and you see the hands go low, thinking it's a body kick, and it just literally splits him open on the eyebrow, drops him. I mean, just beautiful, dude. Look at this picture.
Yeah, and look at the background too. Is that
Megan
Megan
Olivey
Olivey?
and DC both
DC.
yelling.
But it's just such a good read
Yeah,
from
really.
Saint-Denis too, because he's up against the cage. There's only one direction he can go. He can't reach with that punch. He's already been setting it up with the body kick the entire time, and he just saw his opening and he took him. And it was just beautiful
Yeah.
timing and such a good read.
Yeah, and I've seen people comment already
That
being
fight
like,
IQ.
yeah, and I've seen people saying the opposite, and they're like, what was Matt Frevola doing? Terrible IQ to just like think he could just skirt around the cage like that and escape. But how many times do you see people do that and nobody pulls the trigger on the high
Yep.
kick, Like that happens
Yep.
all the time. It takes a savage in there to just fucking act, There's certain fighters who they might overthink it and be like, oh, I don't want to overextend here and leave myself open. No, dude. There's some people who are just out there to kill. Benoit Saint-Denis, dude, he's fucking savage.
Yeah, and they were saying that he's only been fighting since 2017. Is that right?
Yeah, started training mixed martial arts 6 years ago.
Oh my
Fucking
God.
nuts, dude.
Now, by the way, coming into
Look
this
at that
fight,
cut.
Frevola was the underdog plus 180. Benoit Saint-Denis minus 225.
You goddamn
So,
right.
yeah. And it ended up happening the way that Vegas thought it was going to happen.
Yeah. That's my boy,
Right.
though. Benoit Saint-Denis.
You
Everybody,
have you have been preaching about
I think
Benoit
people,
Saint-Denis for a while.
I think people at this point they're not going to be doubting him, but for a while people were doubting him hard because of his debut. They're like, "Oh, Benoit Saint-Denis, tough as nails, but he's really just a punching bag, and he's going to get exposed by these higher level guys."
Yeah.
No, dude, he was undersized on his debut. That's what that was, and he's still it would turn it into a dogfight. This guy, I think, is
His
no
only
joke.
loss.
Yeah, no
His
joke.
only loss.
You know who
All
else is
right.
no joke?
Are we talking about the next one?
We sure are.
Let's go. Diego Lopes versus Pat Sabatini, man. So Diego Lopes has been an absolute monster. He's been on a tear since he's been in the UFC, right? Let's go back and take a look at his last couple of fights. All right. So he beats
While you
Gavin
do
Tucker.
that, HB Comer says, well, he's French, so we knew he is a badass. Also, real quick, Benoit Saint-Denis, loved that he's shouting out Veterans Day here in the States and then says, thank you guys for saving us in 1945. And then he's like, World War I and World War II. And he's like, I'm like, damn, dude, Benoit Saint-Denis is really thanking
Yeah.
America
Dude,
for World War
you
II
text
right
that, and I
now.
was like, hey, better late than never. You know what
Better
I
late than
mean?
never.
But
But yeah,
so he fights Evloev, short
on his
notice fight
debut. Yeah.
against Evloev. Yeah, you throw Evloev out of all people. And sometimes you see these fights go through and you're like, okay, well, that should be an easy win for Evloev or whichever
Mhm.
veteran's in there, last minute replacement. But he comes in and he almost takes out Evloev.
Yeah.
You
Loses,
know,
but
it shows unanimous decision
mhm.
for
But
Evloev, but it's a
there were
lot
some dicey
closer.
moments.
Yes.
In there.
And then he beats Gavin Tucker with a triangle armbar. And now Pat Sabatini, dude, it makes me sad when you see Pat Sabatini and they show the videos leading up to me. He's like, he's just never seen a guy like me before.
Yeah, the classic.
You know, like, yeah, he's fought other people, but he hasn't fought me.
Yeah.
And Diego, you have Lopes coming in here, and you're like, I think he has. And I think
Yeah.
he's done pretty well against people like you because he put on an amazing performance against
Yeah, and
Sabatini.
we talked about his last fight, but against the Evloev fight, you never know when someone steps in on short notice and they have that type of like, whoa, this guy's actually really good. You know, like Lando. I always go back to Lando Venata versus Tony Ferguson, where like, holy shit, he's like dropping Tony Ferguson, things like that, and then they never quite capitalized moving forward from that. It was like a flash in the pan, perfect storm type thing. It's not that way for Diego. This dude is legit. He's for real. Because in this fight, Sabatini, very good wrestler, Sabatini. He's opening up with the kicks early, shoots a takedown, and immediately Diego, he like stuffs it, brings him back up, pushes him away. And I was like, oh, dude, this might be a long night.
Pushes him
It
away.
wasn't.
He like
Yeah.
ragdolled him, dude. Like he like
Yeah.
hits the underhook and was like, "Good out of
Yeah.
here."
But then Sabatini cracked him. He hit him hard. And it was like, oh no. I was so sad. I was like, no, because it's my boy, because he's like the scene dude. He's got like the emo haircut and shit. And I was like, brings me back to middle school. And I'm just like, I need this guy to survive this. And then everything after that was all Diego. It was all Diego. After he got cracked once, and that was about it.
Yeah. And it was that other takedown attempt actually when he ragdolls and tosses him off to
Yeah.
the side, right? He throws Sabatini off to the side. And just the awareness of Lopes to say, okay, he's very vulnerable right now in this position, right? While he's trying to stand
Yeah.
up. He throws that little uppercut, boom,
Yeah.
catches him clean. And which, by the way, I think is what actually hurt him.
That's what hurt him for
Right.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because then he steps back and he already seems to be a little wobbly. Lands that big shot, drops
Yeah, there's no good
Sabatini,
picture
man.
of it, but this is the picture right before because he's kind of fading away. Pat Sabatini got uppercutted in this picture, and he's moving
Yeah.
away. And as he's
At
moving
this
away,
point in time,
Diego
he's
just
already
goes
thinking like,
over.
"Oh no."
Yeah, and you can see him framing on Diego with his left arm, and Diego just goes right over that left arm, throws that overhand. You can see Hunter Campbell in the background trying to impress Kid Rock, but Kid Rock's actually watching the fight because that's why he's there. but then he cracks him, and then they go all the way back up against the fence, and immediately his arm is trapped, and his head is like bouncing
Yeah.
around as Diego's just landing gnarly shots. He's a finisher, man. He's a straight up finisher.
Dribbling his head a little.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, it was rough.
Yeah.
HOB Comer says Sabatini needs some USADA-free vitamins.
Yeah, dude. But why? At this point,
Dude
why?
was ripped in his back. His
They-
back
they
is
don't-
gnarly, dude.
His back is gnarly, but like USADA's gone pretty soon, dude. You know, we only got a month left of USADA, month and a
Yeah.
half.
Right in time.
Yeah,
Conor McGregor coming up soon. All right.
Yeah,
Those were all the fights we're covering on the main card. Actually, that was all the main card. Now,
yeah,
how
very
many
good
fights we're
main
covering
card.
on the undercard, by the way.
We're just gonna do 3, and one of them, the one we're about to cover, is gonna be very fast.
Okay. Okay, so let's see here. We're gonna go with Ursig versus Costa.
No, we're actually just gonna skip straight to Godinez versus Ricci, just because it's
Yes,
late
they
as
did
hell.
fight. They did fight. We had Lupita Godinez versus Tabatha Ricci.
Oh, Tabatha. Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Probably one of your favorite fighters based off the weigh-ins.
She did look fit.
Yeah.
She do be fit, man. Yeah.
Rich is at the movie theater right now. This is the impromptu episode.
Yeah. HOB Comer asking, where's my boy Rich? He also says, I think this would be a good opportunity for Romero to take his shirt off.
Oh,
Yeah, no, he probably thinks I have similar tattoos as
The
Diego
Diego.
Lopez. Yes, but that would be false, sir. I do not have any of those tattoos. But yes, we had Godinez versus Ricci. What'd you think of this fight, Will?
not a good fight, but it was a record-breaking fight with Lupita Godinez becoming the first female UFC fighter to win 4 fights in a calendar year. So I figured we might as well at least say that about the fight.
Props to her. Congratulations, Miss Godinez. Now, we also had other fights.
We sure did.
Are we going to go over Matus versus Roberts?
No, we're just gonna go. I like how you don't want to say
Sadykhov?
Rambesky.
Oh, yeah, dude. I was like, how? Rambetsky?
Rambesky?
Rambetsky? I
Yeah.
was ready to go Rebecki. You know what I mean?
Rebecca. It looks Rebecca.
But
DC
it's
says
more
Rebecca.
Rambetsky.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I'm guessing we're going Sadykhov.
Yeah. Sadykhov versus Slava Claus. Holy shit.
Claus. What a
Holy
fight,
shit.
dude.
When we started this before they had announced the bonuses for the event, but this has got to be fight of the night. It was so good. This is so good. You know, we talked about how I have a short list of like when there's a crazy knockout. Oh, that's a knockout of the year contender. Oh, that's a fight of the year contender. It's probably not a fight of the year, but I put it on the list because goddamn is it good. Goddamn.
Dude, and the thing is, you have Borshchev coming in, right? He has some crisp boxing, dude. Known for being a solid
Body shots.
kickboxer. Yeah, dude, the way that he was stepping into those body shots,
Mhm.
right? That
And the
first
leg
round
kick.
for me was just he was putting on a masterclass.
The clinic.
And I was like, oh, dude, this is gonna be smooth sailing for
Yeah.
Borshchev all the way through.
Those leg kicks, dude. Sadykhov just eating them, clearly messing with his game a little bit, and just he was getting picked apart that first round. And it, sometimes there's like point fighting picked apart, and then there's like bap 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 left hook to the body, and just like jab 2 left to the body uppercut, and you're just like, oh my god, this guy is putting it all onto him. And the leg kicks were like buckling him, and then the second round. It was a little different.
Borshchev comes through and lands a nice left hook, which
Mhm.
dazes, or Sadykhov
Puts him on
landed a
skates.
big left hook.
Yeah.
Yeah, puts Borshchev on skates, and as he's stepping back, decides to go up with that head kick. Money.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
dude,
clearly.
Look at the look on his face.
And look
Dude,
at
but the
Uriah.
way he fell, though, it was like he was like, ugh.
Yeah.
Like equilibrium gone. Can't
That
feel my
picture-
legs. Gone.
I didn't realize when I pulled this picture, I didn't realize Uriah Faber's reaction here.
Yeah.
Does not look good.
No.
You know
My
what did look
boy.
good though? Actually, I'd like to call it out too. In the first round, Borshchev's takedown defense looked a lot better this fight, and his ability to get to a single leg to get back up when he did get to the ground, very good. Because that's always been like every time he gets taken down, you're like, well, there's the rest of the round. but not
Well,
this
if
fight.
there's anything that Team Alpha Male can help him out with, man, it'd be his wrestling,
Great
and his
scrambles.
guillotine.
Yeah,
You know.
100%.
So
So yeah,
all
drops
this
him with the
going
high
down,
kick
he lands a big elbow, right?
immediately.
Slices him up.
Hmm.
Borshchev just sliced up. He's bleeding all over the place. Now, did you think it was a mistake? What a picture! Oh my
The
god!
front kick when they got up, the front kick he landed, and he just ate this. This didn't even wobble him.
It's like he's sticking his toe right up his nostril.
It's crazy,
Um,
man.
but do you think it was a mistake for Sadykhov to go down on the ground with him versus telling him stand up?
I don't. In the heat of the moment, like we say all the time, like path of least resistance. You got Borshchev on his back. This is where you try to grind him out. We've seen him get completely not just beaten down, but also just sapping his gas tank. Like if you can grind him out for a round after dropping with the high kick, most likely he's not even going to be there in the third round. It's going to be a shell of him, So like I don't think it was in the moment. I don't think it was as bad as like Joe Rogan was saying and stuff. And when you're watching on TV, yeah, you're probably like, yeah, let him up because he's so wobbly. But I don't think it was a bad decision.
You know
You
why
know
I
what I
agree
mean?
with you, Will? Because Borshchev is known for his kickboxing.
Hmm.
He's not necessarily known for his grappling. Now, like, let's say that Sadykhov would have jumped on top of somebody that's really known for their jujitsu, their wrestling,
Yeah.
whatever. And you're like,
Then
okay,
it's like,
this
let him
person's
up,
going to be
dude.
able to put themselves in a position where they can recover, right? They go into
Hmm.
autopilot. They're still dangerous. With Borshchev, it's like, hey, take your shot, man.
Yeah.
Like, gain a better position, see if you can land some ground and pound. You might be able to put him out that way. He might turn into give up his back. You can probably choke him
Hmm.
out because he's out of it, right? He
Yeah.
was hurt. He was seriously hurt. So I was
Hmm.
like, okay, not mad at it, right? And then comes the third round.
It comes the third round.
And then comes the
Oh
third round,
my
and
god, dude.
Borshchev's like, oh, that's right. I'm in a fight. Let me
Yeah.
do what I do, right? Let
Yeah.
me use my footwork. Let me start throwing combos again. Do 3-4 punch combos and ending them in the
Yeah.
body. It was good
It
work,
was
dude.
so
So
good, dude.
first
And
round,
10-9.
Borshchev,
Yeah.
right? Second round,
10-8.
Sadykhov, 10-8. Third
Mhm.
round,
10-9.
10-9.
Borshchev.
So draw.
We get a draw.
We get a draw. And we get the happy dance at the end between these two guys, dude. Look how happy they both look.
Because the draw was the right call.
Oh
Mind
yeah.
you, this the judge that gave this didn't score the 10-8 round in the second. Was also the same judge that gave Tabatha Ricci a 30-27 in her Lupita Godinez fight, which was clearly wrong. He also gave Mackenzie Dern the first round of the fight against Andrade, even though she got dropped.
Look, some people are just not good at their job, you know?
No, sure are.
And yeah, that's one of them right there.
But
But what a fight.
yeah, it's a very good fight and one that like go back and watch it if you missed it because it was on the prelims because it was a straight up dog fight and it's definitely that list of fights that you have growing as the year ends. It's like what are the notable fights of the year? This is one of them. This is one of the ones to go
Yeah.
back and be like, oh shit, that's a banger. Like in a couple of years, you go back and watch this one, you'll be like, damn, I remember this one. It's a good
Oh,
one.
for sure.
You know?
Yeah. For like Gilbert Melendez versus Diego Sanchez for me. Like that's one of the fights
Oh,
where I always think
so
like, oh, that
good.
was such a fun fight. This will be one of them for sure.
Yeah. Who did Diego Sanchez?
What other fight did you want to cover?
Last one I want to do. Also, shout out to K9, JK. Much love, y'all. I don't think we saw the other ones, but shout out. I don't know if you want your full name or your real name said, but shout out. That's one of the boys. We'll go on to Jared Gordon versus Mark Madsen.
Nice. Madsen, the silver medalist. Madsen.
Yeah,
The
Olympic.
thing that they continue talking about every single time this guy fights, that's all they focus on.
It's
And
all he's got. No
yes.
disrespect.
But look, his
No
striking
disrespect.
looked better in this fight. I
Dude,
thought
he
his
had
striking
a
looked better in this fight. The dirty
very
boxing,
tricky, man. Very tricky. He would grab
yes.
with the left, the single collar tie on Gordon with the left hand, and then with his right hand, he'd grab wrist control and he'd pull it out to the side. And then as soon as he'd pull it out of the way, knee up the middle, right to the chest, dude. It was brutal. It was such a nasty game plan. And Gordon's a dog for sitting through that because lesser fighters would crumble to that type of pressure and that type of assault. But instead, he was like, dude, I've been doing this for a while.
Yep.
Like
I've
this is
seen it
not.
all.
I've seen it all, dude. I've been, like he said, doing heroin under this arena before. I've seen it all. And he
Wow.
cracks him over the top. And it was almost like comical the way Marco Madsen's legs went out when he hit him with that, because it like spun him around. It looked like one of the video game knockouts that everybody complains about being so bad. Because it looked like gravity was turned up to like another
EA Sports was
30%.
like, see?
Yeah, see, it's real.
Oh,
Man,
but dude, Madsen kind of got a taste of his own medicine, because when they were up against the cage,
I forgot
in
to do the pictures.
no,
Let's
you're
talk
good,
about
dude. The tables were turned, and like you're talking about, he hooks the back of the neck with that left hand, and then Gordon lands that little uppercut, that dirty boxing while he's in there.
it. Mhm.
Except Madsen couldn't take Gordon's.
No, he dropped like a sack of potatoes, man. And then Jared Gordon had a cool little moment on the mic.
What do you
It was
say?
good.
I didn't even listen to it.
He was super stoked to be fighting in Madison Square Garden, and he posted also like the ticket prices, and he was like, "Dude, the ticket prices are crazy. He spent like an ungodly amount of money on tickets. Let me see if I can find it.
What? For his friends and family, I'm guessing?
Yeah, and people thought it was going to be like a retirement fight. I think he said that. Like, I think he said that up leading up to the fight, but then he called out. Who did he call out? He called out somebody in the interview, and I was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "I need." Yeah, he's like, "I need a top 15 fighter or something like that," and I was like, "Oh, he's still doing it. Cool." He spent $22,000 on tickets tonight.
What?
$22,000. It's probably more than he got paid. I hope he got a bonus. Like, what the hell, dude? Chill
Man,
out.
that's nuts. Well, hopefully he does get a bonus.
Yeah, are the bonuses posted yet?
After taxes are out, breaks even.
Yeah, let's see. I don't think they posted the bonuses yet.
Yeah, I don't see him either.
That sucks, because I was thinking by the time we got to them, we would have them.
Nope.
Oh wait, no, we do have them. Let's see. We got. Well, real quick, let's keep it with the same order we always do it. But
We're gonna go moment of silence then.
moment of silence. Matt Schnell was originally supposed to fight Urseg. That would have been fun. Derek Brunson versus Dolize. Brunson withdrew. Now he's in PFL. I don't know what the fuck happened there. John Jones was originally supposed to fight Stipe for the main event. Jones tore his pec. Some people might say allegedly. I think it's probably fine. I think he probably actually did. I don't think he wanted to miss that payday. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, so that's what the moment of silence was. Canine says 22K is one hell of a business expense. Yeah, hopefully he could write it off. I don't know.
All right.
But for bonuses, we had fight of the night, Borshchev versus Sadykhov, obviously. Performance bonuses, we went one championship. We went Chatri level. We got Diego Lopes. We got Jessica Andrade. We got Benoit Sabatini. We got Tom Aspinall. We got Alex Pereira. Chatri.
Whoa.
Dana Chatri. White. But it was a very good card.
That they hand out over there? $50,000.
$50,000?
No, it's not dollars. What is it?
Oh, well, they do 350,000 baht.
350,000 baht. Okay, which is like 10 grand, right? Something like that. Yeah, that's probably what Dana was giving everybody.
Friday fights.
He's giving everybody 50,000 baht.
Yeah, 50,000 baht is probably, what is that? That's not.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. But that's why he's giving it out so freely. Yeah.
Another cool thing though from this card is, I believe it broke the record for
gate.
No, shit. Why did I fucking refresh that? Total fight time for all main card fights is the quickest ever.
By the way, I really appreciate it.
Yeah, shout out to all y'all. 18. It was like 18 minutes or something like that. 18:25 for all 5 fights. Absolute insanity.
I'll take it.
God damn, what a card, huh?
It was a fun card, man. And like I was telling HLB Comer, it's good if you don't bash a card, it all will. It was a good card.
Yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due. The UFC knocked it out of the park this time.
I like it.
Thanks, John Jones. What do we got? We got next week is UFC Fight Night.
Oh,
Paul
gonna be
Allen
tough to follow
versus
this one, huh?
yeah, dude.
Ugh.
Yeah, it's
Yeesh.
tough. Let's
It's
see.
Brendan
We
Allen
got
versus Paul Craig.
Brendan Allen versus Paul
I heard
Craig.
you.
What do we got? Jake Matthews versus Michael Morales as the
Michael Morales,
co-main
super fun,
event.
up and comer.
What a co-main event though, huh?
Oh,
Jordan
Jordan
Levitt
Levitt.
versus Chase Hooper. That's actually a fun matchup.
That is a fun matchup.
Amanda Ribas versus Pinheiro. That's not bad also. Gross Medic is always fun versus Johnny Parsons. That's a fun fight. Johnny Parsons I really like. What do we got? Trey Ogden versus Nicholas Mota. That's all right. Jonathan Pierce versus Joe Anderson Brito is going to be a fucking banger. That's a great fight.
It's a good one, too.
There's some good ones sprinkled in there, huh?
All right. Well, again, gonna be tough to follow this card.
It's going to be tough.
But we'll have fights next weekend nonetheless. All right. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out, Will, to K9, Millimeter, HLB Comer, Regen, Blunderbob. Thank you for joining us, even though it was a late night Story of the Fight edition.
Sure was, huh?
Ones. Yeah, y'all are real ones for joining us. We are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, so please tell your friends, tell your moms, tell your aunties, let them know. Anybody that loves MMA, hop on, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, goes a long way. You can find us on YouTube is preferred, so you can see all the pictures and everything that we're talking about. But also Apple Podcasts and anywhere else podcasts are found. Or the website lists a bunch of other stuff too, right, Will?
Yeah, storyfight.com will list all our social medias. We're on Spotify, we're on all that shit. Also, next week, I forgot to mention A1 Combat, Andrew Toasty.
Let's go. What a
making
shirt.
his pro debut for Uriah Faber's promotion. It's going to be on Fight Pass, I believe. The prelims might be on YouTube, not sure. But definitely one to watch. Gonna be sick. Friend of the show. Friend from before the show. Doing great things. Fucking sick.
I love it. All right. With that being said, this is usually where I give Rich a shout out for producing the show, but he's off at the movie theater right now. But shout out, Rich. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another week of Story of the Fight.
How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.